After 7 long years of marriage, that evening started like so many others. I had booked a table at her favorite Italian restaurant, hoping to surprise her with a quiet, intimate dinner. But as soon as we sat down, I noticed something was off. She barely touched her pasta, her attention drifting between the glow of her phone and the restaurant's entrance. I brushed it off, assuming she was simply worn out from work. I had no idea what was about to unfold. When our entrees arrived, I tried to break the tension with a light-hearted story from the office, but her expression stayed distant. She stared at her plate as though it didn't belong to her. Concerned, I gently asked if something was wrong. Her eyes lifted to mine, empty, almost lifeless, and she said quietly, "We need to talk." I set my fork down, feeling a weight settle in my chest. She inhaled deeply, as if bracing herself before plunging into icy water, then spoke with unsettling calm. "I'm seeing someone else." The words didn't echo. They landed like stone, final and immovable. For a moment, I couldn't react. My world didn't collapse in dramatic fashion. It just tilted slightly, leaving me unsteady. Around us, other diners carried on with laughter and conversation, oblivious to the fracture splitting my reality. I reached for my glass, took a slow sip of water, and managed to say, "Thank you for telling me." My restraint seemed to catch her by surprise. Maybe she expected shouting or tears or something theatrical, but I had no strength for that. For months, I'd already sensed a widening distance, her late nights, the curt messages, the way her eyes slid past mine. Deep down, I'd known. She began to explain, insisting it hadn't been intentional, that their bond had developed unexpectedly, that hurting me was never her plan. Her words sounded rehearsed, like lines she'd repeated to herself countless times. I listened quietly, nodding, not in agreement, but simply letting her finish her script. When she finally stopped, her gaze searched mine, almost begging for forgiveness or at least release from her guilt. I gave her neither. Instead, I folded my napkin neatly, placed it on the table, and said, "I hope he gives you what you're looking for." A flicker of regret crossed her face, but it was too faint to undo the damage. We sat in silence until the bill arrived. I paid it without a word. On the way out, she asked if I'd be okay driving home alone. A dry laugh slipped out of me. "I'll be fine," I said, stepping into the cold night air, no longer pretending. The drive back was quiet, but my mind wouldn't stop replaying our past. Our first date, the rhythm of our wedding dance, nights spent laughing on the couch. I didn't cry, I didn't break. I let those memories drift by like passing clouds. When I reached home, I packed a small bag and left. I needed space, not just from her, but from the suffocating weight of everything that had turned unbearable. I stayed with a friend, and for the first time in months, I slept without checking my phone. In the days that followed, I never reached out. She sent a few messages, but I left them unread. There was nothing left to discuss. She had chosen her path, and now I had to choose mine. 2 weeks later, I filed for separation. She didn't fight it. Maybe she felt relief. Maybe, in her heart, she had walked away long before that dinner. Whatever the case, I felt something unexpected. Freedom. It's strange how someone else's truth can unshackle you. I didn't look for closure. Her confession was closure. Now, each morning, I wake with a lighter chest, knowing the betrayal is behind me. I no longer have to share my life with someone who never truly valued it. Looking back on that evening, I don't regret how I handled it. Sometimes, a simple "thank you for telling me" is enough to let go and move on.